This is part of a series of videos. Check the playlist in the cards or the description to find the others. Now let's add something to the Connie painting over here. I'll just turn on Guides, Studio Lighting, so we can see a little better. In our scene view, we can only really see the corner of the picture. So maybe we can add a camera angle to zoom over to it. To do that, we'll just add a camera gadget and scope into it to move it around as before. Then we want to know when to activate this camera. So I'm going to add a chip to hold our logic and surface snap it to the picture like this. Now we want two modes for this, one where it's being focused on and one where it's not. So again, a selector is a good idea. And then we can use a controller sensor. I'll remove the extra wires and put it into remote controllable mode. But I only want to use this when I'm hovering over the picture with the imp. So I'll get a grab sensor, and when the player is hovering over the picture, I want to power this controller sensor. Then if I'm hovering over it and I'm pressing X, I'll put it into B mode, which will be our focus on the picture mode. That will power the camera. Let's try that out. So if I press X somewhere else, nothing will happen. But if I hover over this and press X, now we'll zoom over to the picture. And I'll add a light above the picture as well. I'm going to use paint to draw a strip light, just at the top of the frame there, and tint it white, and give it some glow. Let's turn studio lighting off now to see what effect that has. Pretty sweet. So now if we make the opacity 0, but turn on always for emit light from glow, now it will always emit light, but we won't see that strip. But now we probably want to be able to come out of that view so that we can carry on with the rest of the game. Maybe pressing circle will reset the selector. So circle into the A mode to reset the selector, and with test mode we can see that working. So pressing circle will exit out of it and go back to the normal view. But that's only if we are hovering over the picture. If we don't hover over the picture and press circle, nothing will happen because the controller sensor is off. So if we are in this mode already, we can power the controller sensor to make sure the circle button still works to exit. Now let's try that again. Over to the picture, and if I don't hover over the picture and press circle, we're back to our normal view. And if we want it to float over to the original camera, we can tweak the camera and change the transition type to smooth. Now it will transition over 1.5 seconds or whatever you set this to. So we'll try that out, and back, and it's pretty smooth. It's probably a good idea to have some on-screen button prompts to let them know how they can get into the painting and out of it again. For that, just use a text displayer. You can edit the text and use icons by using these angle brackets and put a special code in here. For the X button, we can use X as the code. And we want that to work while we're hovering over the painting. So now, we can hover over it and see the X button. I'll just pretty this up a little bit. And then while we're in this mode, we'll show the circle button. So we can type circle as the code, and we get a circle icon. But if you hover over it, it still shows the X. But we're already in this mode, so we probably didn't want to show that. So instead of simply using the hover to work, we'll also need it to not be already zoomed in to the picture. So we'll wire this into the power of the X prompt. And I'll move things up here a little bit. Now X works for going over here, but then only circle works while we're over there. That's all for this part. Please give the video a like and subscribe.